One of the best things about crafting in Disney Dreamlight Valley is that it can pull materials from any of the places that you have them stored, whether that's your pockets, your connected house chest, your crafted chests, whether they're small, medium, large, or any of the storage furniture in the game. But how do you know where it's pulling your crafting materials from if you've stored them in more than one place? Well, let's figure that out. So for this experiment, we will be crafting the new seeds that grow the yellow eggs for the extravaganza, and we'll be using that because I know where all of my eggs are. If I tried to craft something else, my materials are across so many different storage locations that I wouldn't be able to track things for sure and know where the game was pulling materials from. And the seeds only take one pink and one blue, so that makes it easy for us to keep track of where it's pulling those materials from. So for our experiments, we're going to be using two small chests, so I'm going to put those out. So the one on the left we put down first, and the one on the right we put down next. And I'm also going to bring over the house chest. The house chest is that connected storage. I think it's labeled a dark wood vintage chest. It's the one that came with your house at the beginning of the game, and if you buy more of those from Scrooge, any one of them that you open up will have the same stuff inside. So we have our two chests and our connected storage chest, that house chest. So I'm going to put equal stacks of materials in each of the two small chests and in the house chest, and keep a stack in my pockets. What if it's pulling from that chest because the stacks of materials are smaller? What if it's pulling from it because we have 50 in the other chest but only 40 something in this chest? And so we switched it so that we had fewer materials in the chest that it was not pulling from, just in case that was a factor. But it still pulled it from the same storage location. So it doesn't seem like the size of the stacks, the amount of the materials that you have in each chest, that doesn't seem to matter. So remember, at the beginning we put our materials in the chest on the left first and then in the middle chest. So the next thing we had to do was switch that. So I took the materials out of both of those storage locations and put them back in the opposite way. So this time we put them in the middle chest first, the one on the right, and then in the chest that it keeps taking them from. And so we crafted even more seeds. And so it looks like the game is still picking the same storage location. It doesn't seem to be affected by the size of the stacks, and it does not seem to be affected by the order that we put the materials into the storage location. So after that, we tried proximity. Maybe it's pulling from the chest on the left because it is physically closer to the crafting bench I was using. And so we moved the other chest, the one that it's not using, that chest on the right, we moved that one really close to the crafting bench and tried again. But the game still pulls the materials from the chest on the left. So the next factor we considered was moving the chest. We had moved that chest first, and then we had moved the chest on the right. In fact, we had moved the chest on the right twice. So we tried moving the chest on the left so that the one on the right, the one close to the crafting table, had been in place longer, and the other one was newly moved to see if that would affect it. But it still kept pulling from the same chest. And so the only other thing we could think was the one on the left was put out into the world first. It came from the furniture menu, from inventory, and was put on the ground first. And then the other one was. So I took the materials out of the chests and I put them back into the world in a different order. And this is the first time that we see it pulling the materials from the other chest. So it seems like the chest being in the world longer means that the crafting table is going to get its materials from there. So what about the chest being outside versus in your house? Maybe that's a factor. So we moved one chest inside. So if the house has priority, it'll pull the materials from the chest inside, even though that's a newer chest. So we craft some more seeds, but it's still pulling the materials from the older chest. So it seems like this time priority is the only priority that we've been able to figure out so far for the rest of the chests. But this raises the question, what about that house chest? Was it pulling from the house chest first because of some special property of it being the house chest? Or is it pulling from that because that's the chest that we have had since the beginning of the game? It came with the house. It's probably stayed placed in the world the longest because it's been there the longest. And even just looking at the chests outside, I moved that chest in when we did our setup. I didn't place it from inventory. So the next thing I need to do is empty the house chest and go get every instance of the house chest and put it back into my furniture inventory. So I put away 2 I had outside in the biomes. And then I found 1 more in my house. We've put them all away. So now we have the chest that we placed outside, and now we're gonna place the house chest outside again. So now the house chest is the newest chest that we placed. So if the game pulls materials from the house chest this time, we know that the house chest has some special priority, just like our pockets. But if it pulls it from the other chest, then we know that this time in the world or first placed chest has the priority overall. So let's craft some more seeds. So it looks like it took it from the house chest anyway, even though the house chest was the newest chest. So this means the game's priorities still stand. First priority, materials in your pocket. Second priority, materials in that house chest, your connected storage. And then after that, it will go for the chest that has been in the world the longest. It doesn't matter if you move it, it doesn't matter how close it is, it doesn't matter when you put the materials in it. It is the age of that chest in the world that matters, not the age of that chest in your inventory when it went from your inventory to the world. Now after stream, because we tested this on stream, I thought of a few other parameters that we didn't get a chance to test, and those were the size of the chest, now that we have small, medium, large, the colors of the chest, since they come in an array of colors now, and those are different items. We also have Scrooge's safe that you get from one of his friendship quests. Some of the furniture now acts as storage, things like the wardrobes, but there's a couple items that work as storage, and we've been told that they function a lot like the small chests in terms of how many inventory spots they have, but do they function the same way? So does the furniture function the same way as the chests? Do the different colors of chests function the same way? Do the different sizes of chests function the same way? Well, I did the experiments with these too, and it looks like all of the chests that you craft and all of the storage furniture functions the same way, which makes this much easier. Now, I didn't check every piece of storage furniture, so it's possible that something is tagged in a different way, but it seems like all of the chests, all of the storage furniture function the same way. And so our priorities still stand. When you are crafting something in Disney Dreamlight Valley, the game will first check for materials in your pocket. If you don't have the materials in your pocket, it will then go to your connected storage chest, your house chest, and look for materials there. If you don't have materials there, it will go for your oldest other piece of storage furniture, whether that's a chest that you crafted, no matter what size or color, or any of the storage functional pieces of furniture that you have, whether that's the safe, a bookcase, a wardrobe, all of those, it'll go through whatever you have placed in the world first. And so we can use this information when organizing our storage systems in the game so that we know where it's going to be pulling our materials from when we're crafting. So if you want to make sure that you have a chest that is completely full of a particular material, and you have another chest maybe where you're dropping materials on a regular basis and you'd like it to use those up first, then you can do that by placing the one that you want it to use first and then placing all of your others. So we quickly tested the same thing with cooking, and it seems like the same principles apply. So if you put an apple into a recipe, it's going to pull that apple from your pockets if it's there. If it's not there, then it's going to look in your house chest. If it's not there, it's going to go to your oldest placed chest and look for it there, or fridge, or bookshelf, or whatever it is where you have your apples stored. The place where this may not hold is when you're auto-filling recipes and you're using generic ingredients. So those generic ingredients, sometimes they might rotate the type, and we haven't really played with that idea yet, but maybe on a future stream we'll figure that out. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps you organizing your storage in Disney Dreamlight Valley. Subscribe and turn on notifications to find out the next time we go live. I hope to see you there.